Fellow board members, Dr. Cruz, and district staff, general public that are joining us this evening. The time is 6 p.m. on this, the 18th day of September, 2024, and I call this regular meeting of the United Independent School District Board of Trustees to order. May the trustees that are present please announce their name for the record.
Ricardo Rodriguez, present.
Elisa Flores Oliveros, present.
Frank Castillo, present.
Thank you. Myself, Ramiro Vélez III. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of this meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act. Agenda item 2 is going to be Pledge of Allegiance and honoring the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one indivisible. Thank you very much. Agenda item 3, recognitions. I believe we have several recognitions. We're going to go in no particular order and recognize the individuals that are designated there in the list. We're going to get up.
Good evening, Mr. Vélez, members of the board, Dr. Cruz, members of the audience. It gives me great pride to announce the United ISD Technology Department has fully implemented the new Skyward Cumulative Student Information System. UISD has made a significant technological advancement by fully implementing the new system. The collaboration between departments, including the admissions and attendance department, played a key role in expediting the online student registration during the major software transition, which has been marked as the biggest in UISD's history. This change was prompted by the announcement in June 2022 from Tyler Technologies regarding their exit from the student information system market. In response, a diverse software selection committee was formed, including school principals, curriculum and instruction, technology, admission and attendance, and registrars and attendance clerks. Their goal was to review the district's needs and process to ensure the best fit for the future. The implementation was supported by extensive training with over 112 sessions provided to more than 4,300 staff members. One of the key features of the new system is the customizable digital dashboard, allowing users to create personal tiles to focus on the specific information they need. This flexibility is a major benefit of the Skyward Cumulative System. UISD is well positioned for a smoother, more efficient digital management of student information moving forward. Congratulations. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Board of Trustees, Dr. Cruz, and distinguished audience members. It is with great pleasure to present the Colonel Santos Benavides Dancerettes Dance Team. They are the Showtime International at Fiesta Texas Sweepstakes winners and MCDA National Champions. Their director is Edith Goldaracena. Their coach is Dania Brenes. Principal is Dr. Adriana Vela, and assistant principals are Lisette Garza and Elena Pichardo. The Dancerettes competed at the Showtime International at Fiesta Texas in San Antonio, Texas, April 2024. They were awarded Best in Pom, Best in Hip Hop, Best in Kick, Best in Jazz, and Grand Champions Award. In addition, they also competed with MCDA National Champions, also in San Antonio, Texas, in May 2024, where they received Champions in Kick, Pom, Hip Hop, Jazz, and Best Choreography. Congratulations to the Dancerettes.
Thank you. All right, so we'll move on to agenda item 4, public comments. Mr. Trotman?
Yes, Mr. Velis, we do have approximately 10 public comments for the speakers. You all are limited to 3 minutes. The first speaker we have is Ms. Leti Juarez regarding budget and salaries.
Good evening, Ms. Juarez.
Good evening, Mr. Velis.
Welcome. Time is 6:10. You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Leti Juarez. An open records request released to me shows a $6,000 salary increase for the UIS Chief of Police, his command unit, and all police officers effective this school year. When did the 3 administrators in charge submit a request for the salary increase? And when did the board approve this request? It should be noted that I'm not upset that police personnel received a salary increase. I have always thought their salaries were low. But in all fairness, what about security guards or testing teachers who have much greater responsibility and expectations than other teachers? Who is advocating for those groups? It's not the board or administration. They're too busy going themselves, raising themselves, giving themselves raises, creating new positions, whatever happened to do more with less. My concern is that the UISD administrators and the board circumvented the Open Meetings Act laws, which provide that meetings of governmental bodies such as school districts must be open to the public, except for authorized executive sessions. This is illegal, a Class C misdemeanor. The UISD board violated the four following sections of the Open Meetings Act. Section 551.041, because the board chose to approve these $6,000 increases without written notice to the public. Section 551.042, because the board discussed these raises, only items that are written on a posted agenda must be discussed. Section 551.074, because staff salaries must be discussed publicly. Yet there is no evidence that the board did that. And Section 551.102, because this vote needed to have been taken in public, yet the vote approved these increases were voted during a closed session. This is illegal. How often has the board and UISD administrators been deceitful to the community? This cannot be the first time. I will continue to investigate this incident. The public is supposed to trust that all of your decisions are in the best interest of the UISD children, not to reward only certain individuals. The district tells the taxpayer that there's no money, yet keeps on posting newly created positions such as the public engagement specialist. Why would you want to have taxpayers pay for this position? Ms. Susan Carlson and her department do a great job. Additionally, the police department has a public information officer. Use these two departments. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Juarez. Next speaker, Mr. Troutman.
Ms. Edna Olmeda regarding concerns for the superintendent.
Good evening, Ms. Olmeda. Welcome. Time is 6:13. You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Edna Olmeda, former teacher and advocate, and a very proud daughter of a U.S. Army Purple Heart recipient. I am very disappointed and upset because of the last board meeting where the pay increase for substitute teachers was denied. I am especially upset with myself and embarrassed at the fact that I helped campaign for you, Ms. Alisa Ontiveros, not just once, but twice. Then again, those were other times when I felt you really had the best interests of students and staff at heart. Your opposition, together with Ms. Michelle Molina, is an indication that you do not care or feel they are worthy of a pay increase, just like with teachers and staff. Ms. Molina, in your recent campaign, you claim to advocate for students, but your actions show the contrary. Because when teachers are absent, the ones who stepped up to the plate and show up for our students are the substitutes. During the August 21st board meeting, it was mentioned that the needs of the districts were in the following areas: custodians, bus drivers, cafeteria personnel, teacher aides, substitutes. Ms. Molina, a little reminder, the plan addressed high need, high vacancy areas. There are no vacancies for security officers, although I do agree they should get paid more. So that being said, you also said, and I quote, "We see the need, I get it. Personally, I don't think you do." Then you stated about finding the root cause. Well, let's talk about that root cause. The root cause of the increase, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out, of the money spent on substitutes going from $7 billion to about $9 million is because the need has grown. Again, let's talk about root cause. Simple, the teachers are tired. Simple solution, stop overworking them. Stop harassing them. Stop intimidating them. Another root cause, hiring at the central office. Simple solution, stop hiring. Ms. Alisa Ontiveros, you stated, telling me we are going to go over, and I'm quoting, 10 million over our budget is very concerning. You mentioned our taxpayers, we have to answer to them. And you all said, we need a clear vision. The vision is clear as day. Do not hire TIA director. Fix the root cause. This salary can cost the taxpayers you supposedly are concerned with close to $118,000. Demand all the people at positions with six-figure salaries to do more with less. as you ask teachers, custodians, security officers, and staff to do. Shift TIA responsibilities to the Instructional Accountability Department.
That's our time, Ms. Olmeda. Thank you very much for your comments.
One last thing.
That's.
I am a proud daughter of a Purple Heart recipient. My dad came back paralyzed. Do not strip us of our rights, of our freedom of speech. And that designated area was unnecessary. We
Thank you for your
come
comments, ma'am.
And we speak in peace, but we bring awareness. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Trotman.
Mr. Velis, I would like to note that
Go ahead.
we do have a designated area. Representatives from the media were made aware of this new designated area, which is lawful. It is in accordance with Texas Government Code Sections 551.023.
Okay.
I noticed plenty of people in the front crowd recording. We respectfully ask that you do go to the designated area and record if that's what you choose to do so. You know, it's in accordance with the law. Any member that wants to record the meeting per the law needs to be in the designated area. It is.
Out of
But-
order, out of order.
You guys are out of order.
Out of order.
We're asking you to respectfully go back to the designated area in accordance with the law, in accordance with our administrative guidelines.
Now, we're not impeding for you guys to video. We're not exactly, but we're saying media or any individual.
Any.
You're out
And
of
they're
order.
allowed-
You can't
they
be
are
speaking out of
allowed-
order.
They are allowed to record during recognitions. That is what our guidelines state. We have asked you 3 times to please go back to the designated area in accordance with the Texas Government Code. Okay? To
I
the
call for
designated
order.
area.
I call for order to this meeting.
We're already advised, so it's.
We have other members.
Officers, I think if they're not complying, I'm calling for order.
Yeah, whoever's recording, the designated area has been indicated. Please sit in the designated area. Next speaker, Mr. Trotman.
Next speaker is Victor Vasquez, and I do believe we have one other person still out with their phone recording as well.
Mr. Vasquez, are you going to comment? Okay.
He's refusing to move. They have to remove him from the meeting.
Are you recording, sir? If you're recording, sir, you're going to be removed from the.
But you are
Right,
not
but
in
if you're
accordance.
recording, sir, that's the issue that we have right now. If you're recording, there's an indicated area. If you're refusing the policy that we have, we're going to ask you to leave. If not, we're going to have the officers escort you out. Officers, can you go ahead and escort them out of the premises, please? Thank you. Mr. Vasquez, time is 6:19. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Thank you. Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, my name is Victor Vasquez. I'm going to talk about the new policy that Mr. Cruz wanted to implement about recording and freedom of speech. Like I say, I'm a veteran, and I think it's a sin in store for our country because our founders for this country, for the 13th colony, fought for rights, you know, and people have rights, you know. You should be encouraged your personnel to behave, to treat people with dignity, not hiding, because we got Mr. David Hernandez. Every time we go to see him, just to talk to him, he hides. You had your chief of police, he hides too. So what is wrong? Me going to asking questions or they're hiding? We know that the chief lied to all you guys. Now you were not here, but the board members, I guess they treat him like idiots about the dog. And it's true, the dog doesn't belong to the district. It was given away by the board in an open section on October 18, 2003. And never went back and never went a section to bring him back. So whatever we're paying for the dog is illegal. The dog belongs to Bone Dog. And the chief knows about it. The record check that I requested is so simple because the dog is a tool. It's like a TV, it's like a computer, it's like anything else. So if I ask for something about the date of birth, it could be like the TV serial number, right? If you take the TV to go to get repair and ask for the repair documents, it's like the dog went to the vet. So this thing about confidentiality about the dogs, it doesn't exist. Yeah, I know later it's going to come back and we're going to get the documents. We have some documents already. But my point is that the obstruction of justice and all this be paying for open records, and something is have to be open records already. Training. The training is going to say the day, time, and location. That's it. It doesn't say how you train a dog. But go back to recording is nobody should be afraid to be recorded. I'm a public servant too. I've been recorded several times in my job, in the military. You can search for it and you will see me. But I always behave as I was told to, doing my job. So same with the teachers, same with the principals, same with the administrator, directors, executive, the same thing too. Why they be afraid to we ask them the questions? It's going to be related to their job. You're not going to ask personal life stuff, you know, because when we talk to them about the position they hold. If they get paid by taxpayer, and as a taxpayer, they have to respond. That's it. I encourage parents to go record because sometimes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Vasquez, thank you for your comments.
Mr. Vélez, can I make some clarifications on
Yes,
the dogs?
Mr. Chabin.
Zanti is currently a dog that is in service with United ISD. He is a working canine with the district and is serving the district honorably. The other dog that I know has been of concern is Muck. Muck was a bomb dog that got rehomed to another agency. Muck is alive, Muck is well, Muck is being trained to be cross-trained in ammunition and to serve other agencies within the state of Texas. Regarding these dogs, when the district gets them from TSA, we get them for free for no cost to the district, and whenever they're rehomed, there is no money given to the district as well. These dogs are donated, and both dogs are in service and doing well, so I just want to note that for the record. Our next speaker is Dolores Medrano regarding board policy GKA.
Ms. Medrano, good evening. Time is 6:23. You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
My name is Dolores Medrano. I'm here as a taxpayer and citizen, and most importantly, as an American. It was disgraceful what I just saw happen to our people that were in the audience, especially this young lady. She's not with media. She was here just to record. This is a public forum. We have a right to record here if we want to. This is our constitutional rights. As
Ma'am, can you
parents,
refrain from comments? Sorry, Ms. Medrano. Can you refrain from comments? I'm going to have the officer escort you out as well. You've already been warned a couple times. If you want to continue, we'll escort you out.
this is
Go ahead, ma'am.
infringement of a parent's rights, constitutional rights, teacher rights, student rights. We have a right to be able to really record unless there's disruptive behavior. What disruptive behavior has occurred to result in this type of action? That's what I would like to know. In Texas, it's legal to record conversations. So right now, you're trying to circumvent the law of Texas. Videotaping is often the only way that we can prove what happened. A few years ago, we had a parent come to a board meeting. She was 7 months pregnant. She had already tried to get recourse from her campus principal, and she was ignored about the bullying that was going on. Her representative on the board could not be ever reached by phone. So she came to complain. But at that time, the board had the policy that you could not speak on anything that was not on the agenda. And her topic was bullying. And it was shameful what happened that day. She was escorted out with 2 police officers, 7 months pregnant, a woman, a respectable woman coming to protect her children. I feel that this is the same thing that's happening here today. This is an action that you're going to come to regret, because believe me, we're not going to take this lying down. I want to have the legal authority that you're using. I'm making an open records request right now on the legal authority that you're using, prior cases, and any other legal documentation that you're using to conduct yourself in this manner. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Ms. Medrano.
Mr. Vélez, really quickly, I just want to note, there are claims that this designated recording area are unconstitutional. That's false. The statute, Texas Government Code 551.023, titled Recording of Meeting by Person in Attendance, Section B, a governmental body may adopt reasonable rules to maintain order at a meeting, including rules relating to the location of recording equipment and the manner in which the recording is conducted. This is not a violation of the Constitution, as they're alleging.
Thank you.
The The next speaker is Lucia Peña regarding teacher salaries and superintendent responsibilities.
Ms. Peña, good evening. Welcome. Time is 6:26. You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening. I am an educator. I stand today in front of you once more to remind you that you were elected or placed on that seat to be guardians of the public's and community's youth best interest, not the district's best interest. I am in no way trying to attack you, but to ask you to be our voice. I previously came onto this podium to talk about TIA and how our district failed to inform many educators on the important factor that kept many without a designation. Although some improvements have been made since then, the component that will continue to keep many from that designation is still there, and that's the T-test. Well, once again, our leaders continue to fail to be open and clear about our important matters that affect our families financially. Today, I'm here on behalf of all educators, present and not present, to speak about transparency. Many of us are divorced, separated, single parents, or married but living day by day. A lot of us don't have the time to be present on these meetings every month because we do deserve time to tutor our own children, take them to practice, to their games, and cook a home-cooked meal. Times are tough in America, and with increasing prices on all necessities, we are left hoping for a raise that would help us support our families. I kindly ask you to stop lying to us when you announce these raises or the one-time payments. I kindly ask to please be clear and direct when addressing our pay in the future. Stop making it seem like we are receiving a raise on top of our base salary. This year, we were informed by email that we were being granted a one-time salary increase payment about $1,500, but that email or media advisory failed to include the removal of our experience ladder increase. Your media advisory failed to add that you all decided to remove the raises we are supposed to get by moving up 1 year of service, leaving our salary the same as last year's experience level, and just giving us our raise and one-time payment on October, disguising the fact that we are not receiving any additional raise. Last year, we were informed the same way through email that we were granted an annual increase of $2,250. I contacted one of our board members, and she tried to help me as best as she could, but of course, the finance payroll department just informed me of exactly what was right in front of me, making me feel dumb. I mentioned to her, I gave her an example. I am on year 6 pay scale, and using the teacher pay scale of 22-23, I was at $55,700. With the new pay raise of $2,250, as announced on the board meeting, I should have been at $57,950. However, the pay scale only had increased by $650 to $56,350. Of course, the finance department replied to me.
That's your time, Ms. Peña. Appreciate the comments.
Next speaker, Erica Rodriguez Rendon regarding agenda item 8-1.
Good evening, Ms. Rodriguez. Welcome. Time is 6:29. You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. Just so we know that this speech is actually not mine. I'm here on behalf of somebody else who is afraid to come in for fear of retaliation. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." I would like to discuss the unethical practices exhibited by the board and to defend those who bravely fought to protect the very freedoms you seek to take from your community. The constitutional rights to express your concerns in an effort to hold you accountable. I also remind you that retaliation towards any individual is a violation of the Code of Ethics. In a previous meeting, Mrs. Molina stated that there is a need to find the root of all problems within this district. So what is the root of all problems? I believe the root of all problems starts at the top. A severe lack of customer service is exhibited by the leaders of the district. Hostility, harassment, complacency, silence, selfishness, greed, self-serving individuals with pervasive and dangerous mentalities is the #1 cause of all problems. It is not those who speak nor organizations who stand united against corruption and unlawful practices. The root of all problems is administrators who push employees out and who fail to protect our children. I say that with the utmost respect because just as you would require your employees and your students to reflect on their actions and hold themselves accountable, you must learn to do the same. Dr. Cruz, it is your responsibility to do the right thing, even when no one else is. To the community, I plead, there's a serious need for change in this district. Not just a change in the image, but in the leaders who have been failing us for years. Thank you.
Ms. Rodriguez, thank you for your comments. Next speaker, Mr. Traubin.
Ms. Clarissa Fraga regarding agenda item 9A and B.
Ms. Fraga, good evening. Welcome. Time is 6:31. You have 3 minutes, ma'am.
Good evening, Dr. Cruz and members of the board. My name is Clarissa Fraga, a passionate advocate, a fearless mother, and a concerned taxpayer. I'm here today to discuss the superintendent's responsibilities, employment practices, as well as the unethical practices exhibited by the board. I stand by my constitutional rights to express my concerns while exercising my freedom of speech. I too remind you that retaliating against individuals who speak is a blatant violation of the Educators' Code of Ethics. As a graduate of the Valiant class of 2001, I witnessed many of my friends take to the military soon after the 9/11 attacks. Some returned, some lost their lives, fighting to protect the very freedoms you seek to take from your community. But to that I say, in a world where it is be silent or be silenced, I will speak louder and louder each time. Because there's no way I'd ever teach my children or my students that being silent or letting fear take over is a way to live. For though we walk through the dark valleys, we shall fear no evil. When you see something wrong, you say something and you do something. Isn't that what we stand for? Members of the board, associate superintendents, directors, administrators, you all are no strangers to what I stand for, what I believe in. And you're no strangers to the fact that I'm willing to lay down my life for another. Though I teach my children to fear not, I too choose to teach them what it's like to pray for and love those who wrong you, to give you mercy and grace, because I choose the Jesus way. But again, I will not be silenced. I will speak for those who can't and defend the rights of the poor and the needy. Tonight, you have the opportunity to do what's right, even when no one else does. You have the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of children's future and the future of your employees. As public servants who swear by the motto for children, you have nothing to lose by allowing access to recordings. In fact, you have so much to gain. You have the opportunity to rid this district of the individuals who are the primary reason for such negative image given to the district. The opportunity to clean house, as Ms. Olmeda has frequently stated. The opportunity to stop harassment at its tracks and retaliation towards your employees, because it is not your courageous public speakers like myself who give you a bad image, but rather those who engage in unethical practices. If you have faith even the size of a mustard seed, then he who has ears, let him hear. You know my stories. You know what I possess, yet you refuse to hold individuals accountable for their actions. A few months ago, I carbon copied every member of the board onto an email to bring awareness to a very serious case, yet not one of you had the decency to reply or reach out in any manner. Enough is enough. It's time for change.
Thank you, Ms. Fraga, for your comments.
Next
speaker.
Next, we have Kayla Sanchez regarding items 8-3 and 8-C1.
Ms. Sanchez present?
I would recommend we go in the order they're received.
We have Ms. Sanchez, you're called upon, so it's your turn at the moment. Time is 6:34, Ms. Sanchez, you have 3 minutes.
Okay. My name is Kayla Sanchez, taxpayer and veteran. Como veterana hice un juramento de defender y proteger la Constitución de los Estados Unidos. La primera enmienda, our First Amendment, protege nuestro derecho de expresión, libertad de opinión, libertad de palabra, y así que no pueden pedirnos que no tomemos videos o fotografías. Sería, como ya lo dijeron, unethical, no ético. ¿Cómo podemos protegernos de acusaciones falsas? Si adoptan esa regla, entonces estarían previniéndonos documentar la verdad. Escuelas exitosas en el estado no tienen una escala salarial de asignación de incentivos, the COLA. They don't have that. Están cometiendo el mismo error que el ISD. Por eso UISD no puede permitirse un ajuste por costo de vida para el personal y maestros, porque están haciendo posiciones que no se necesitan. Ahora, en este mundo de ustedes y cadena de mando, Los de arriba no dejan que los de abajo respiren y hagan dinero y vivan a gusto. Son los que más trabajo tienen, merecen más. Yo traje aquí, comenté sobre mi hija, una clase. Iba a ser una clase de cocina, pero siempre no, la cambiaron. ¿Por qué la cambiaron a otra? Porque no tenían el equipo. Hubiese sido mejor que ustedes hicieran tiempo y dinero para darle a estos niños una cocina donde pueden aprender y disfrutar, en lugar de darles más trabajo, de estresarlos más. Ella solamente tiene un electivo. ¿Qué es esto? Es para hacer más puntos con niños. Yo no voy a permitir que esto pase. Mi hija no necesita ahora, ya se destruyó algo que en mi hija y yo teníamos, porque yo estoy aquí en este post hablando. Ella no quiere que yo venga, porque luego dice que se siente culpable de que algún maestro se vaya a get in trouble. I'm sorry, I'm going to Spanglish. I just want to get my point across. You know, this is my daughter coming to me worried because she doesn't want me speaking up. No es malo. You guys are right there for a reason, para escucharnos. Y todo esto que están haciendo con los policías, me as a veteran with PTSD, ya no, por eso estoy nerviosa, ya ni quiero estar aquí. Pero voy a seguir luchando para que ustedes se sienten y nos escuchen, en lugar de nada más, next, ya acabó, vete. No, escúchenos, por favor. Por favor, les aseguro que si siguen lo que queremos nosotros que hagan y si no son egoístas, las cosas cambiarían si estamos del mismo lugar, que es de nuestros niños. Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias, Ms. Sanchez. Next speaker.
Next, we have Valentin Ruiz on 8.3 and 8C1.
Mr. Ruiz, good evening, sir. Time is 6:38. You have 3 minutes.
Valentin Ruiz for the record. As a veteran, I have a sworn, never-ending oath to defend and protect the Constitution of the U.S. You, all in the board, made that same oath. And the police officers here also made that oath. The First Amendment right of free speech, freedom of press to record, videotape, and photograph. Yet you want to implement a rule that prohibits us from recording. How can we protect ourselves from false allegations? If you pass this rule, you will be preventing taxpayers from documenting the facts as they happened here. Successful school districts, this is on item AC1, successful school districts in the state do not have a teacher's incentive allotment director. You are committing the same mistake as LASD is making. That's why UIZ cannot afford a cost of living adjustment for classified staff or teachers. Where are our union representatives? Why are they not speaking up as we are right now? Sadly, because you're making these positions that are not needed, now UIZ is going to be top-heavy, just like LASD, who cannot afford a COLA for teachers and classified staff. Last meeting, my colleague that just left addressed a concern that her child's class did not have any cooking equipment. We expected her child to come and say, hey, we got supplies, we're going to start cooking. But instead, her child was crying and afraid to speak to her mom ever again because she doesn't want her teacher to get in trouble. That was wrong. Now, to addressing the Gestapo movement of our cops taking my friends out. The attorney said something. He said, he recited the rule, okay? They were peaceful here. They were not creating any ruckus. They were peaceful. They started speaking up when he started kicking them out with his rules. And you know why? Because he gets paid big money to make those unethical rules. And then we have to hire lawyers to fight him. And that puts money in his pocket. And that is unethical. And it pisses me off. And yes, I am mad. I am angry because I'm a veteran. And I had brothers that died, and I see them burn. And for you guys to do this, it pisses me off. You guys are wrong. And you guys standing there silent, letting that happen? You shouldn't be in that position. Velis, our families grew up together.
Yes, sir.
Okay? In the past, and I don't know if your families went through this, it was legal for them to spray down with insecticide our families coming across the border. And it was a law.
Thank you for your comment, Mr.
And
Ruiz.
it was unethical. And that's what's happening here right now.
Thank you, Mr. Ruiz. Next.
Okay, the last speaker that signed up was Ismael Rincon, but he was lawfully removed from the meeting. I do want to make one more comment, Mr. Velis, regarding the pay raises to the police department and the comments that were made. The budget was approved on August 21st. The budget included all expenditures of the district. The budget was posted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, so I am extremely confident that no violations of the law were made regarding that.
Correct. Thank you, Mr. Feldman. So from here, it's agenda item 5, Superintendent Report. Dr. Cruz?
Yes, good evening, members of the board, district leaders, and staff, and members of the community. I am pleased to share that United ISD continues demonstrating a solid commitment to the academic excellence, as evidenced by our recently projected designation as an A-rated school district. This achievement is a testament to the hard work of our students, teachers, campus administration, curriculum and instruction, and the support from parents and the community. We focus on improving academic outcomes across all campuses, ensuring students receive a high-quality education that prepares them for future success. United ISD enrollment continues to grow, with district enrollment steadily increasing across all schools. As of today, September the 18th, student enrollment is at 40,716 students. This positive trend reflects families' trust in the educational opportunities we provide. In response to our growing student population, we have made significant strides in filling teacher vacancies. Through diligent recruitment efforts and competitive hiring practices, we ensure our classrooms are staffed with highly qualified educators passionate about student success. Currently, there are 10 teacher vacancies in the district, and our HR department continues every day to attract the best qualified educators to teach our students. We're also committed to enhancing student attendance, which is crucial to academic achievement. To support this, our district attendance department staff and attendance officers are working diligently to engage with families and conduct home visits, ensuring that all students attend school regularly. Additionally, we have strengthened community partnerships with key organizations like Sames Kia Motors, Laredo Credit Union, AKA Driving School, to improve student attendance. Their generous support and donations allow us to further invest in programs and initiatives that benefit our students and schools. I'm also pleased to report that our district safety measures are proving highly effective. With enhanced security protocols, increased vigilance from staff, and strong partnerships with local law enforcement, we maintain a safe and secure environment for our students and staff. In light of recent events, I want to assure the board and the community that any social media threats of violence are being dealt with swiftly and appropriately. Our communication with local authorities and our internal investigative team has allowed us to make immediate action when necessary, ensuring the safety of all students and employees. I'm also pleased to provide an update on the implementation of Skyward Student Management System, our new student management system at United ISD. Skyward is replacing the previous Tyler Student Management System and represents a significant step in managing student information more efficiently and effectively. The transition to Skyward has been a large-scale effort improving coordination and support from various departments. I want to thank our administrators and information technology staff for their dedication and hard work in ensuring a smooth rollout. This new system is designed to enhance data management, streamline processes, and better support our students, parents, and staff. As we continue with the implementation, ongoing training and support will be provided to ensure all users are fully comfortable with the new platform. I have been actively meeting with campus principals, department leaders, and our dedicated staff through superintendent meetings to ensure we are aligned in our goals for the district. These focused leadership meetings have provided valuable insights and have helped strengthen our collective efforts to foster a positive district culture. Our shared commitment to supporting student outcomes and teacher development is central to building a school environment where everyone can thrive. Looking ahead, the UISD management team is actively preparing for upcoming legislative sessions, focusing on public school funding. Our administration is engaging with state officials to advocate for the financial needs of our district. We're developing strategies to ensure that United ISD is well positioned to secure the resources necessary to continue providing high-quality education for our students. The United Independent School District recognizes the right of attendees to record public meetings as stated in Government Code 551.023. This law allows anyone to record all or part of open meetings using a recorder, video camera, or other audio-visual means. However, to maintain order and ensure a comfortable meeting experience, the district by law may adopt reasonable rules regarding the location of recording equipment and how recording is conducted. We ask all attendees abide by these rules to promote a respectful and organized environment. The support of our community and United ISD Board of Trustees has been instrumental in moving the district forward. We are working to establish trust and integrity with parents and families, ensuring they feel confident in their children's education. The collaborative efforts between our district leadership staff, community stakeholders are vital to maintaining the excellence we have achieved and pushing forward to new heights. In closing, United ISD is making tremendous progress in academics, student engagement, and building a thriving district culture. I am confident that, with the continued support from the Board of Trustees, our incredible staff, and community, we will continue to provide the best educational experiences possible for our students. Thank you for your continued trust and dedication to the success of United ISD. This concludes my report to the Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Cruz.
Thank you, Dr. Cruz. For the record, we have two additional board members. We have Ms. Michelle Molina present and Mr. Gilbert Aguilar. We'll move to agenda item 6, consent agenda item. We have items A through H.
Make a motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
May I make a slight note for the record, Mr. Vélez?
Motion and second, Mr. Trotman.
Yes, this is regarding 6B and in particular RFP 2024-023, elevator maintenance services. The tabulation had to be slightly revised from what was presented at the board workshop. However, the revision did not impact the price nor the vendors being recommended, but I did want to note it for the record that it is slightly different than what was presented at the board workshop.
Without saying my motion is still.
I'd like to see if we can pull out the 6B, approval of awarding bids, particularly where it comes to mowing services. Does anybody want to discuss that?
Do you have a particular question on that?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to know who is the highest, I guess, individual or business that's going to be rewarded that?
Well, we can have
awarded.
Yeah, we can have that answered right now. So it's concerning mowing services. Is that what?
That's correct.
Okay. If we can just be given the RFP and then that information, and then we can get the information presented, and we'll go over it real quick.
The recommendation for this RFP is 3 different vendors, WCD Enterprises LLC, Nick Benavides, and Texas House of Clean LLC.
So will they all be used?
Yes, so if you look at the tabulation, and I'm sorry, it's so small.
Yes, I did see it.
The 3 vendors were selected based on low bid per school. So all 3 vendors are going to be utilized, but depending on the schools that they were lower on.
Did any consideration, was it made to try to see if there's any local vendors in this?
So these vendors, and to my knowledge, are local. All 3, except for WCD, but the other 2 are local.
The other 2 being?
Nick Benavides and Texas House of Clean LLC.
So you're saying that we're going to use all 3 of them?
Yes, correct.
That's it. That's all the questions I have.
All right.
I want to make sure that happens.
Correct. Okay.
Can you give us an example on one of them? Just so I can understand. Because I can see there's
Do you have the one I did with the low price?
page 16.
So if we were to look at, say, Alexander High School, right? Line item 45. So the low bid there would be Nick Benavides at $2,400.
And we would utilize that vendor.
Correct, for that
Okay.
school.
If you go to number 20,
Okay.
just random.
20 is Elias Herrera Middle School, if I'm looking at it correctly. So.
Okay, so if you go to Elias Herrera, what we did is there's 3 services, right? There's the mowing,
there's the tree maintenance, and then there's the shrub maintenance. So when you take all three into consideration, that would also go to Nick Benavides for $34,962.
And he's a local.
So that's 24 mows for the year, right? Once a year for the tree maintenance and twice a year for the shrub maintenance.
Okay.
And he's local, right? Local.
Yes, he's local.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions from the board?
I'm not sure what the issue is, but we are using the lowest bidder per campus, right?
Pretty much. And so you have three, so if there's any issue with one vendor not being able to go to a campus, you can go to one of the other two.
Well,
And so that's why you have three
The issue
vendors.
is really only trying to make sure we give business to local businesses.
Yes,
That's
correct.
it.
So we do have,
There's no issue. I just want to make sure for the public they get an example because they don't know what we're talking about.
oh, thank you.
Thank you very much for the information. All right, so we had a motion, we
Second.
had an approval.
Second to
A
approve.
second, I'm sorry, we had discussion. So all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none opposed, motion passes. Agenda item 7, that's items for individual consideration for discussion and possible actions. Item A is donations for the months of September 2024.
The following are donations of $1,000 or more. The United South High School Band received a donation of $180,000 from the United High School Booster Club. LBJ Johnson High School Girls Basketball Student Activity Fund received a donation of $5,113 from the LB Johnson High School Basketball Booster Club to be used for practice gear and game uniforms for the 2024-2025 season. The United High School Band received a donation of $1,000 from Mr. Jorge Alcazar. Grand total of $186,113.
Motion for approval. Second.
Motion a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 All those opposed, none opposed, motion passes. Item B is resolution to approve the 2024 appraisal roll as the 2024 United ISD tax roll. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, board members, Superintendent Dr. Cruz, and members of the audience. I bring to you the 2024 tax roll, the UISD tax roll for approval.
Motion for approval.
Second.
You have a motion a second. Do you have to read the exact amount or?
Yeah, well, I can give you the total tax levy, the 2024 tax roll levy. It's $199,316,756.48.
All right, so we have motion a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none opposed?
Thank you.
Motion passes. Thank you, ma'am. Item C, selection of board members as delegate and alternate delegate to attend the 2024 Texas Association of School Boards TASB Delegate Assembly. Do you have a motion for selection of a board member, delegate, and alternate?
This is for the conference next week, and usually we have a trustee nominated and an alternate in case they can't make it. It's basically to go to the big meeting to approve any changes that happen at TASB regarding policies, bylaws, et cetera.
Can we discuss this in closed session?
I would not advise discussing it closed.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
really no legal
I think
issues
it's
related to it.
Yeah, so this would have to be right now in open session, or?
There's no legal issue or no exception under the Open Meetings Act to go in a closed session on it, frankly.
Okay.
I believe last year we had Mr. Castillo and I believe Mr. Rodriguez as the
Yeah,
alternate.
I motion to keep the same as last year.
All right, I'll second that motion. We'll keep Mr. Castillo and Mr. Rodriguez as delegate and alternate delegate to attend the TASB Delegate Assembly. Do we have any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none opposed, motion passes. Item D is board travel to attend the 2024 Texas Education Convention, the month of September 2024 in San Antonio, Texas.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none opposed, motion passes. Item E is board minutes for the months of June 2024 and July 2024.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion a second to approve minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, none opposed, motion passes. Item F is update of board policy DFE, local termination of employment, resignation designees. We have some information. Mr. Canales, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Veliz, board members, Dr. Cruz, and members of the audience. We're just doing a cleanup on this particular item under board appointed designee. We are removing old titles, and then we are putting the new titles.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have a discussion.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean removing titles, sir?
All right, so for instance, we have here the Deputy Superintendent for Safety and Student Services. That was Ms. Gloria Rendon's old position. That doesn't exist anymore. We do not have a Deputy Superintendent anymore. That's an example.
So you're going to remove it?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes. And item G is request from board members in reference to use of Board of Trustees discretionary funds for various projects and campuses. Mr. Garza, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. In accordance with our new procedures, there are no additional requests other than what's in your packet.
Make a motion to approve.
You have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garza. Agenda item 8 is closed session. Time is currently 6:57 p.m. In accordance with Texas Government Code Sections 551.071, 551.072, and 551.074. The board will discuss items 8A through 8C. No action will be taken in closed session. All right, agenda item 9, open session. Board has reconvened from closed session. We are now in open session. Time is 8:16 p.m. For the record, no action was taken in closed session. Mr. Rodriguez had a prior appointment and took off, and Mr. Castillo felt a little bit under the weather and took off a while ago as well. Item 9A is possible action regarding revisions to board policy DC local employment practices.
Yes, Mr. Vélez, this revision to board policy DC local essentially will include for board approval, assistant principal, associate principal, dean and director. The revision from prior policy only included the principal and director. So now all positions will go for board approval, which include assistant principal, associate principal, principal, dean, and director.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Unopposed, motion passes. Agenda item 9B, possible action regarding revisions to board policy GKA local, community relations, conduct on school premises.
Yes, Mr. President, as superintendent of United ISD, I want to address the need to safeguard our employees and students from unauthorized video recording on district property. To enhance security and privacy, I do propose a revision to board policy GKA, community relations, conduct on school premises. The revised policy will prohibit unauthorized audio and visual recordings of students or district employees on district property during regular school or business hours. This restriction will not apply to photography or recordings taken at public or school-related activities. Additionally, media representatives will be required to obtain permission from the district's communications department before interacting with staff or students on district property. This policy revision is essential to ensure a safe and secure environment for our school community.
Yes, I would also like to chime in. There was a lot of, comments about the legalities of this proposed revision of policy. And the Texas Education Code vests the right and title to both real and personal property to the district's Board of Trustees. When you are a property owner, you have the right to institute rules. There are many political subdivisions, government agencies across the country that institute rules on their property. For example, the federal courthouse downtown, I cannot get past the foyer area without checking in my cell phone with the guards. I have to leave my cell phone behind. The Webb County Justice Center, you have to go through metal detectors. Even our own facilities for public use, we have time and hour restrictions like at Kruger Field for the public to use. The White House, you don't have unfettered access to go and take pictures wherever you want. So I'm very, very confident that this policy is legal, and I would recommend that the board approve it.
And when you have any questions, we're available.
No, just as mentioned, we're not the only school district that is doing this.
No, that's
Been
correct.
done.
We actually, and the model language for this actually did come from the Texas Association of School Boards, policy consultant. So they base their language on what other districts are doing across the state, and it's a local policy, so that language, again, is adopted by the board.
Okay.
And just to be clear, even in this meeting right now today, we're not telling anyone you can't record.
That's correct.
You cannot take pictures. As a matter of fact, there is recordings as we speak right now, and there are people taking pictures as we speak right now. It's just in designated areas. So no one's rights are being violated, correct?
I would agree with that. Yes,
Okay.
there is reasonable rules in place. Unauthorized recording can be distinguished from, for example, recording a police officer conducting a stop in a public roadway. That the case law has gone over situations like that, as opposed to, as Mr. Troutman mentioned, you as the board control property, being the district, just like a private property owner does. So the notion that the district is public property only because it's funded by taxpayer dollars is inaccurate.
And there's plenty of case law that we have found that supports this position.
You could record somebody being arrested, but you can't go inside the jail and start recording people who have been arrested, even though it's paid for by tax dollars, public taxpayers. There has to be some, in this meeting, there has to be some decorum. I'm quite surprised. We've always maintained, good behavior in this setting, and I'm shocked at what we've been seeing lately. It's kind of getting out of control. People yelling from the audience and coming up to us and recording us at a close range. Employees saying that they feel uncomfortable, they feel threatened. I think this is just to provide order. There has to be order. we can't have people, screaming from the audience. It's not appropriate for this setting.
We have to maintain professionalism.
I agree with that, and also, in today's day and age, recording devices, and we've made these arguments to the Attorney General, they're able to record vulnerabilities of district buildings. They're able to record where security devices, security cameras are located, and because of those security and safety concerns, this policy does address also those situations of unauthorized recordings that can frankly expose the district's vulnerabilities to some of its buildings, which would be, we don't want that.
Yeah, it's for safety reasons. I mean, we're recording right now.
Correct.
The district is recording. The district is live streaming right
The
now.
district live streams this in high definition with audio on YouTube, so members of the public are able to do that.
I think we mentioned even if you do a White House tour, there's certain parts of the White House that you cannot record. You can't even go in. They're restricted areas. Yet the taxpayer pays for the facility, for the upkeep of the facility. But there has to be security. And these are the guidelines that we feel are going to be set in place to protect our employees. Our employees are feeling threatened, basically.
And at the end of the day, we have to protect our employees, our teachers, we have to protect our children. We can't have anyone recording our children like that. Sure, there's going to be some exceptions, like you said, pep rallies and whatnot, but events, like before the meeting, recognitions, but once this meeting starts, there's a designated area and you can continue to record and you can continue to take all the pictures that you need. We're not violating anyone's rights.
And it was mentioned, earlier about First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of press. That's not being taken away. They have a designated area, and that's the reason we're doing this. There's nothing else, just for safety reasons, and also the harassment on our employees. It is a harassment. They come to work. Their justifications is to work and do their duties. They don't have to answer to anybody. I think their supervisors are there, or address it to administration. We have administration, open records. They can deal with that, and we have our attorneys as well that are always doing a great job in putting everything together and make sure that we're doing the right thing and doing what's fair. So I thank you guys for that, and just for the public to know that we're not denying anybody. They're right here to the left, and everybody's welcome at UISD.
Yeah, I mean, our cameras even further back than they are. And certainly, we're not restricting anyone's freedom of speech. They still have a right to public comment. I know there's rules to that, just like we have to post an agenda within a certain time frame prior to the meeting. There has to be rules. I think that's what this is all about: security and maintaining order, professionalism, as Michelle mentioned. Sorry, I forgot your last name. Molina,
right.
Ms. Molina.
All right, guys, any further discussion?
Thank you.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Trotman, Mr. Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Agenda item 9C, possible action with respect to the lawsuit filed by Potential Holdings LLC against the United Independent School District, UISD, and others regarding the UISD Student Activity Complex Educational Support Center plat filed of record in volume 21, pages 43 and 44 of the Webb County Plat Records, and the UISD Las Cruces School plat filed in volume 18, page 55 of the Plat Records of Webb County, Texas, and Santa Claudia Lane, Santa Monica Drive within the UISD SAC plat, matters incident thereto, including legal options available to UISD. The suit was filed in the District Court of 111th Judicial District of Webb County, Texas, under cause number 2023 CBG 000-151D2.
Yes, the recommendation is to allow legal counsel to proceed as discussed in closed session.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Agenda item 9D, possible action regarding the completion of construction of Juan Ramirez Middle School located at 402 Aquero Boulevard and Aquero Boulevard and related easement issues and reimbursement obligations arising under the original purchase and sale agreement executed in connection with the purchase of the one-half undivided interest in the property over which the extension of Aquero Boulevard runs.
Yes, the recommendation is to allow legal counsel to proceed as discussed in closed session.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Agenda item 9E, possible action on authorizing the execution of a 20-foot wide sanitary sewer easement to the city of Laredo from the sanitary sewer lift station site running north through the UISD Student Activity Complex property to the current 21-inch wide gravity sewer line that runs alongside the Kansas City Southern Railroad track.
Yes, the recommendation is to allow legal counsel to proceed as discussed in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Agenda item 9E, possible action regarding the appointment of the Teacher Incentive Allotment Director.
Yes, Mr. Vélez, before I make the recommendation, I do want to address some concerns
Yes, sir.
regarding this position. The Teacher Incentive Allotment Director will ensure that United ISD teachers receive the recognition and financial incentives they deserve. The funding for this position will come directly from the Teachers Incentive Allotment Funds, as the director's efforts are directly tied to enhancing the district's teacher quality and performance. Additionally, the director will monitor and evaluate the impact of TIA on teaching effectiveness, continuously refining the program to benefit both teachers and students. This strategic use of TIA funds to support the director's salary is essential to maintain a robust and sustainable incentive program with United ISD. UISD Board of Trustees, I recommend Ms. Vania Magañas for the Director of the Teacher Incentive Allotment.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Just to be clear, this is not coming from a general fund, correct? This is coming from TA funds, right?
It will be coming, the salary will be coming from the funds generated by the Teacher Incentive Allotment. That is
Teachers,
correct.
okay.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed, motion passes. Congratulations to Ms. Magallanes?
Yes, Magallanes.
Okay, and welcome to UISD. Agenda item 9G, possible action regarding the appointment of the Associate Superintendent of School Administration and Student Services.
Yes, also, before I make this recommendation, do want to address some concerns regarding this position.
Yes, sir.
The Associate Superintendent for Administration and Student Services supports the district's overall effectiveness and leadership. This position is essential for ensuring that administrative processes are streamlined, policies and procedures are appropriately developed and implemented, and that communication with the district remains clear and compelling. By collaborating closely with various departments and campus administrators, this role directly contributes to the district's success in achieving its educational goals and improvement initiatives. The position's focus on policy development, communication, and implementation of improvement initiatives underscores its necessity in building a robust administrative foundation for the district's future and success. UISD Board of Trustees, for the position of Associate Superintendent for District Administration and Student Services, I recommend Rebecca Morales.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion, second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? None opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
With that, agenda item 10 adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Unopposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned at 8:29 p.m. Thank you and good evening.